Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to In and Out with Rubbertainer, a podcast that is specially dedicated to talking about sport, entertainment, lifestyle, fashion. We talk about culture, family values, and of course, we also discuss lifestyle, latest happenings, and all of that. Yeah. So, welcome once again to In and Out with Rubbertainer. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and share so we can reach a larger audience. And I must say, this is our first episode in season 1, and we are super excited. Yeah, so the podcast ought to start sometimes last year, but due to one or two reasons, we couldn't start. And my team and I have been putting in the work since early the year, and we're super excited that finally we are live. You know, my name is Emmanuel Fajuiton, but people call me Rubbertainer. And today, being July the 2nd, the year 2025, is the first episode, and of course, my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And guess what? You know, I don't celebrate my birthday alone. My special mom, my super mom, is also adding a year today, July the 2nd, the year 2025. So happy birthday to you, mom. I love you, and thank you for sharing my birthday or allowing me to share my birthday with you. Happy birthday to us. And also, there's something pretty much special about July 2nd. Odogu Burna Boy, African giant. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you too. From all of us at In and Out with Rubbertainer, we say happy birthday to you. And of course, for those that are celebrating their birthday today also, we want to say a big happy birthday to everyone out there and all the July born babies. Yeah, happy birthday to us. Long life, prosperity. And in case you're wondering, a lot of people have seen me on different stands. Some know me to be a very fantastic commercial model. Some know me to be a comical event host. Some know me to be a fantastic voiceover artist. The latest right now is that people know me to be Africa's number one ring announcer. Yeah, and I wear that with sweet honor. Yeah, and this aspect of me, some people don't know. And let me say, today being my birthday, I conquered my fear. And I want to use this episode to quickly paint a picture and narrative of what it is like to conquer your fear. Yeah. And over the years, I've been in entertainment business for quite a while, and I would not love the media to dictate or narrate my story for me. So I would rather put it out there, and that's what I'm doing today. And thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening once again and watching. And so this is an aspect of me quite a lot of people don't know about, and I'm putting it out there today, being my birthday. Today being a significant day that I conquered fear. And some of the time, the fear that I had or I am having is not the fear of failure, no, but it's just a fear of what will people say. You know, people have known you to be this, and then you want to delve into something else. You want to try and do something else, and you have that fear. And I'm sure people watching, you will understand what it means like when you are about to start something new. And you know, it's just it's just pretty much nothing. Fear is actually nothing, because it's just like a mirage. It's like something that does not exist, but it gets painted in our head, you know, and it messes with our mind, and before you know what's happening, you are not going after those dreams and goals anymore. You know, I started out as a very fantastic football commentator back then in the university, and you know, I just love to entertain people. I love to make people happy. I just love to, you know, hold the mic and do something with it. I was lucky enough to discover that I have a voice that people love to listen to. And then I started out as a commentator, and then I graduated studying accounting. I was already doing stand-up comedy back then. I was very funny then, very funny. I'm still funny. Maybe adulthood just toned down a little bit of the funny aspect, because you know, when you check the bills that you are paying as an adult, it's not funny. So you know, I started out as a commentator on the pitch, you know, and then gradually I started doing MCing, Master of Ceremony, and then finishing university, I discovered that this stuff is can actually get me from one point to the other. So I ventured into it fully, even though my parents at first did not approve of it. Graduating from the university and then you say this is what you want to do. You are the only one that carries that dream. You are the only one that closes your eyes in the night and you know what you see. No matter how hard you try to explain it, you may not get the right set of people around you to be able to help you interpret that thing that you see in your head. So in my own case, there was no exemption. So in fact, it's widely believed that the first set of people that will criticize you are your closest allies. Those that are supposed to be the first set of people that will support you. They will be the very first to criticize you. My parents were only being logical, like, okay, what's up? How would this get you from point A to point B to point C? And I would not blame them for that, especially when you have a typical African parent that have stalled their dreams just to put you through school, and then you're out telling them you want to do something that you can't really point people to them, people close that they can see that have done it and are successful at it. So it was a very serious battle. So at some point, fear started creeping in, and then when it got to a point when I didn't really have any other place to turn to, I just had that gift and talent and dream. That was all I have left. I had to face it head on. So I went from commentary, I went to MCing, and I went to stand-up comedy, and then TV presenting. I did a little bit of TV presenting back then, and then that actually gave me a structure. So all along, I always wanted to be someone that announced fights, someone that announced at the stadium. I always want to announce at the stadium, and it's still part of my dreams to do that. I always wanted to be like the great Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble. I watched WWE a lot because my dad loves it. So back then, those were the things that were shaping me gradually. So, I went from commentary, I went into radio, I went into MCing, that is live event. I went into stand-up comedy. I went into TV commercial modeling. Yeah. And I did some banger commercials, man. Year 2016, 17, 18, 19, we ruled the TV commercial industry. Every commercial that I was a bang. But all of these, I was still thirsty and yearning for more. I still wanted more. And then fear at every point in time, fear was creeping into me. Fear was making me understand that, people will laugh at you when you do this. You will not amount to anything. I hear those voices in my head. And even sometimes when I remember speaking to one of my closest person back then that I want to do this, the person laughed at me and said, my English is not good. How do you want to do this when your English is not good? And I was like, man, I just needed a word of encouragement then, but it wasn't forthcoming. So at every point, I was meeting people that were letting me know that I will not be able to do it. But I thank God for the stubborn spirit inside of me, because I know some of my friends call me goat. So I just thank God for that goat spirit inside me. I didn't give up. I was just doing it. I kept at it, and I did TV presenting, freelancing for almost 2 or 3 years. I wasn't earning anything, and I kept on going. And mind you, a typical African Nigerian home is a place where once you're done with university, things are changing right now though. But just some few years back, the moment you finish university, the next thing your parents are looking at as a guy is get a job and get married, give me grandchildren, But I knew that there was more to life than just that. But at the same time, I was still trying to get my feet, coupled with the fact that I left the commercial hub of Nigeria to go study in rural, I don't want to use that word rural, but I left Lagos to go study in Ekiti. And some of you that know this aspect will understand that it's like you are leaving contact and then you are going away from contact. And then, so when I finished university, I studied accounting, strike, and all of that for 6 years. Yeah, accounting was supposed to be 4 years. It ended up being 6 years plus strike and all. So by the time I came back to Lagos, the struggle was very real because I had to start trying to reconnect back to what it is like in Lagos. And the Lagos market is so swift and fast that if you leave Lagos market for 6 months, you struggle to get back into that circle. And then TV presenting was for 2 years plus. I was wearing clothes, I was sponsoring my transportation, and it's TV. You can repeating outfits will make the content look like an old content. But I was just doing it with the team then. Wazobia Plus, Oloritola, Alaji Genzawa, Sonny Dambata, Emeka Okoye, the same Emeka Okoye in Nollywood. The 5 of us were just on there and they were running it, doing it, and the fans were loving it, but the money wasn't coming. And the master of ceremony that I was doing was the one catering for my lifestyle, catering for my outfit, catering for my transportation and all of that. And at some point I knew, because whenever I sleep, I dream of whatever it is I'm doing now, and I've dreamt of it in constantly. So I knew in my head what it is like. So I kept on doing it. But what I noticed that I did also was pen those dreams down. I broke them into pieces and I started taking them one by one, because once you are giving birth to, not with a silver spoon, in this part of Nigeria, especially once you're giving birth to in this part of Nigeria, and you don't have a silver spoon, you just have to carve your own way out anyhow you like it. Otherwise you'll be romancing poverty. So I don't want that lifestyle. I want to live my dream. I want to also be financially free. And by saying that, I don't want to depend on people to survive. But I just kept doing it. And one way or the other, the emceeing was sorting out my lifestyle, was paying my bills little by little. And then the major break now happened when I drove a friend down to a commercial shoot, and I was just dressed normally, and they saw me. They are like, "Are you also here for the shoot?" I'm like, "No, I only brought my friend down here." And before you know what was happening, they said, "Okay, come on the shoot, come on set. We need you to do this, we need you to do that." And as at that time, the great Omahumi was the rave of the moment, and she sang "If You Ask Me, Now Who I Go Ask," that song back then. And then I just jumped on it, and they said I should spoil the song. My brother, this is what I do for a living. Like, I spoil song in my bathroom for a living. So it was just like a piece of cake for me. I did that, and that commercial came out. It was a banger, and ever since then, a lot of people started reaching out. It wasn't the era of social media was there, but it wasn't the era of content creation like this, So commercial was still a banger. TV commercials was still a banger. And then I did quite a few commercials, started doing it, and then it was paying the bills. The TV commercial that I was appearing on was breathing life into my emceeing job, because people were seeing me more on TV, and you know how this thing works back then. Once they see you on TV, you're respected. People believe that, if I put this guy on as my MC, is good. And I was quite good, or rather, I am still very, very good with emceeing. I'm one of the best in Nigeria and Africa. I can say that for sure. And then people were liking it. So the two were just feeding each other, and then I started doing that. Now, fast forward to my current status right now as the Africa's #1 ring announcer. I would love to share this with everyone out there, and perhaps you might be in the corporate world, you might be in the entertainment space, fashion space, whatever space that you are in. All of these things that I was passing through were just a piece, of the main puzzle. They were just putting those pieces together. And guess what? When it was time, I needed something. I was thirsty and hungry for something big, something better, something big, And when it was that time, you would personally know that, oh, Omo, I need something big at this point. And I was at that time. So I did my comedy show in 2018. I did in Lagos. I did in Abuja. We're about to go do in Ghana and then Dubai before lockdown started. And then, if you're in entertainment space, you understand what I'm saying. These things are like momentum. Once you are taking it, once it cuts and breaks, you go back to start all over again. And sometimes you can put in times 4 the effort you used the first time that you got result, and you may not get results well. So it was really hard. And then even before the lockdown came, there was this Bollywood movie that was supposed to be on. It was quite challenging, and then in 2020 I had to start all over again after the lockdown. Vast majority of the industries, everybody just had to start one or two things all over again, because we're now learning how to relive life, how to relive the life that we've already known how to live. So I was also caught in that web. During the lockdown, I came up with, there was an inspiration for me, and I started doing cardio. Yes, cardio. Cardio is a short form of car on the radio, car on the radio on the wheels. Yeah. So I started doing radio vibes on the wheels. People were loving it, but at some point I had issues with my car back then, so I couldn't continue. And then it's still back to. So at every point there were fear. And what were my fears? My fears were, oh, my parents, they've said that this or that I need to make it, I can't make it. All those kind of stuff. They didn't say it directly, but their actions, they were scared. And aside that, I don't want to be poor, man. Poverty is very, very expensive, and I can't pay that price, So after the lockdown and all, I was now watching, because I've watched WWE, I've watched UFC, I've watched Kung Fu, I've watched all of that. So I was watching MMA fights, and I'm like, Bruce Buffer, I've seen him before, but I never paid detailed attention. And I'm like, I do this stuff for free. I can do this stuff. I do it. And there and then, I began the journey to start sourcing. And don't forget, I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. And as at lockdown season, mixed martial arts in Nigeria wasn't a thing like that. They're fine. There were fight clubs here and there. People were training, but there wasn't that major platform that put everybody together where people begin to compete back day in, day out and all of that. It wasn't really there. So what I did was I got an inspiration, and then I conquered my fear again. I made a video of me doing ring announcing. I started sharing to every fight promotion globally, because there was no fight promotion to share to here in Nigeria. So I shared to UFC, PFL, WWE, One Championship. I shared to kickboxing. I shared to UAE Warriors. I shared that stuff. I shared it. And I was just using Google to get email addresses of this company. I don't know anybody there. So I put up a letter. This is one of the fast rising stars in Africa that could add positive value to your fight promotion. My name is Emmanuel Fajuiton, and I will be delighted to take your ring announcing. I packaged myself. So when I said everything that I was doing all along is like a piece of the whole entire puzzle game. So my writing skills is top notch. I can beat my chest on that. I am quite good with writing proposals. I'm quite good with writing presentation. I'm quite good with creating ads, and I put all of that. I marketed myself to them, sent all around, but no response. 6 months. And one day I just decided to share on Twitter, and I did. I shared it on Twitter, my video, because I look at the video, man, this video is just lying here. I shared on Twitter. It got massive views on Twitter. massive views. Now, most of the time, when people want to take a step, especially in their career, their first question is, what will people say? You see, that question is a killer of dream and killer of destiny. What will people say? Guess what? People won't say shit because people don't give a damn. People are busy with their life. People are struggling to kind of like put their lives together. It is until when you now grow past that age, you will discover that people that I thought were looking at me, what will people say? People do not even know you exist. Adulthood is hard. Everybody is busy with their life. So nobody even give a flying F about what you think. You think people are thinking about you when they have bills to pay. You think people are thinking about you. Nobody is thinking about you. So that at every point of your career, when you're about to make a very, very great landslide, you'll be afraid. Fear will creep in, and then you start asking yourself, what will people say? For crying out loud, people don't care. People don't even know your name. They only know you when you become successful. So why will I care about what will people say? Guess what? I failed so much, and I'm accountable for my failures. I failed so much to the extent that anytime I fail, the first thing I learned this from a very good senior friend, Mr. Deji. He told me, he said, anytime you fail, what is your key learning from that failure? That's the first thing you take out of it. So most of the time, anytime I fail at something, I take my key learning, how not to do it like that anymore. So at that point, when I was sending all the videos out, I was getting tired. I'm like, oh boy, let me put this thing out there, Jare. Make anybody yab me. Let them insult me if they want to insult me. And people saw it. People liked it. So sometimes you have that video on your phone that you ought to post. You are scared. What will people say? People don't care. People don't even know you exist. People don't even have an idea of who you are. So why are you scared of what will people say? So that was one thing I took out. And then I posted the video. Boom! The video went crazy. And then it got the attention of someone who connected me to someone in London. And then I started sending messages. We started exchanging messages. And then the biggest fight promotion in Africa happened. The AKO, African Knockout Show, owned by the almighty Kamaru Usman, my boss right there. One of the best welterweight champion of the world. And I say that with full chest. And then that happened. And then, the Nigerian thing wanted to happen, but I just went there the very first day that I was on the AKO. I remember that very first day on the AKO. So we came for dry run in the night. We came for rehearsals again the next morning, and the rehearsal lasted till like 2. So I had to go back to go rest and then come back. So one thing led to another. I came a bit late. Not that I came late like we were supposed to be on set like 4 p.m. Event supposed to start 6. So I got there like 5:30. And the reason why we're supposed to be there is we have to test. We were streaming to DSTV to about 54 African countries, and it's a live show. There is no reason, you don't have an excuse to fail on a live show. It's different from pre-recorded, just like this podcast. So by the time I came back, of course, Mr. Ryan was angry, but he spoke his mind that you are not ready. And I'm like, I'm ready. So few minutes, so I did my dry run. Few minutes entering the ring, someone called me. I don't know if maybe he had someone he wanted to do that. Maybe he had someone in mind that he wished he's going to do the job of the ring announcing. And this guy started putting fear inside of me. Started telling me, okay, have you done TV production before? You see, this is not Kinnicon, this is not this, this is not that. He started saying all of that, so you have to stand here, you have to stand there. I said, we've rehearsed all of this. He started, I don't know what was his motive that night. At one point, I just told him, I said, sir, can I say something? You see, when an island is being formed. We only see the sand on it. There is a lot that had happened beneath that sand. Look at me very well. I didn't come here by mistake. I have passed through a lot to be here. And this is not the time for you to put fear inside of me. Allow me fly. And then I walked out. With full confidence, of course. I've never looked down on myself at any point, even when I don't have shaders in my pockets. Fear, dead long time ago. And then I got into the ring, and that very night was crazy. The accolades I got on live stream, on AKO's live stream, the comments, people were saying, where did they get this guy from? Did do that. When I was walking around the arena, what people were saying was like, wow, how are you able to control your voice? Mind you, I skipped an aspect. I was once in the choir. I did voice training. I've done voiceover, and I'm still doing voiceover. Mind you, I'm still a seller of my voice on Fiverr. I've done quite a lot of commercials. I've done voiceovers for different commercials. I can't even remember some. So all of the processes led up to this. And at that point, I knew it's time to fly. And guess what? Every time I'm opportune to get on the AKO platform, I do my best to beat my last performance. One day, I will share more about how to handle, sometimes when you prepare, when preparation meets opportunity, I will talk about how to handle that opportunity. But for now, I just want you to know that this journey is my reality. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. And I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker. I'm just trying to let you know that fear does not exist. Fear is a mirage. It's never there. It is the moment you get to that spot you discover that you have just been fooling yourself all along. It does not exist. So for anyone that is watching this out there, you have projects that you have said you're going to do, start anyhow. Break it into pieces. If it is too big for you financially, if it is too massive, break those dreams into bits. And then begin to work at it one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. Before you know what is happening, it will all come together. And then it will be a very glorious one for you. The worst thing that you could do to yourself is not trying. It's not attempting. It's not making move. Because at the end of the day, what you fear most does not exist. It does not exist. It's all lies. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will be ending this very first episode. And I'm so grateful to God and you, the viewers, that are liking and sharing. Tell me in the comment section what your fears are. Can you drop your fears? Or rather in the comment section, can you kindly drop how you were able to conquer some of your fears? Or rather, what is your fear currently? Drop it in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see you on the next episode. Rubbertainer signing out.